Okay, I'm gonna rant a little bit. Hope you don't mind about that. If you don't like my rant, then just like click off the video because I'm not gonna force you to watch anything you don't want to watch. If no one likes this, I'll just keep posting rant videos and no one will watch them. That's fine. Because I just like to rant times. And I don't want to post it on the community thing because like, I don't want to become off as aggressive. I just like to rant about things that slightly bother me. I'm just being like, yeah, I just kind of want to talk about that because I'm a very, 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 very opinionated person, and that's fine. So, disclaimer: just because I'm an opinionated person doesn't mean I won't listen to your ideas and opinions. I respectfully listen to you and then determine whether or not I think that I agree with you or not. This is a rant about the people who tell me that they don't like me or cuss me out or other characters out that I've made. They don't like William. And okay, let me ask you something. What is the whole point of Ultimate and Custom Night? That was William in hell and everyone telling him how much they hate him and why they're gonna torture him for eternity. And I just don't get why everyone ignores that game. But like, if you like William, I'm not gonna judge you because that's your deal. Just don't cuss me out for that. Also, don't attack people that cuss me out because I genuinely don't care about it. It's just like, you don't know that person's name. Maybe they just had a bad day and they're just like, hey, you, I don't like you because you disagree with my opinion. They could have just been very stressed out at the time they watched the video and they needed to vent. So don't attack the people that attack me because I just want to give everyone a fair chance. Because if we all had a conversation together and like we talked through stuff, then I feel like we would become friends. Or maybe you just misread it wrong, or maybe I just misread it, and that's fine. Now, back to the thing. William is what I would describe as a silly. Now, let me give you a little rundown on what a silly is. A silly is the kind of person who kicks newborn puppies. Sillies are the kind of people who they eat a sandwich and then they get a bunch of grease all over their fingers and then they use your laptop. They get grease all over your laptop and they don't clean it up. Or maybe just like Cheeto dust. They just leave it all over your laptop. They don't apologize and they just kind of leave it there. But that being said, there is different tiers to being sillies. Like a silly that had a bad day, which means that they're not particularly a bad person or anything. They just like f you, and that's considered a silly. The next tier silly, a tier 2 silly, you know, they're the kind of person that I described earlier that leaves Cheeto dust on your keyboard. A tier 3 silly is someone who subscribes to your channel just so then they can dislike all your videos. I know there are some of you out there. And that's kind of amazing because I like have professional haters now. And I think that's amazing. I'm not even lying there. Also, sorry if I sound like I'm crying. I'm not sure if that's just my voice, but I need to wander in order to explain things. And I'm kind of out of breath because I'm really out of shape. Okay, tier 4 silly is someone who is very entitled. They think that they deserve everything. Kind of like r/entitled parents, Karens, you would say. Tier 4. A tier 5 silly is someone who kicks people. They like verbally abuse people in real life, not on the internet. In real life, they verbally abuse people. A tier 6 silly is a straight out murderer, and William is a tier 6 silly. And I'm saying that everyone that's gonna cuss me out in the comments right now is a tier 2 silly. If you hate on this video, you are a tier 2. And I'm not taking that back. You leave grease on other people's keyboards, and I do not appreciate that. That's just the system here. If I call someone a silly, you know what tier I'm talking about. Now that you know the tiers of the silly, you might be asking yourself, well, if William is a tier 6 silly, why is he a tier 6 silly? When, like, I know he murdered children or whatever, but, like, he is a good person and he just had a hard life. But, like, you can't excuse child murder. Child murder is awful. If you were murdered, you would probably be mad about it. You wouldn't care if that, let's just say someone bullied you for your entire life. You were kept being pushed down and ruined, and you also didn't have any parents anymore because they killed you. Well, let's just say you got bullied a lot, and suddenly you find out that your bully had a hard life. Now, some people would go ahead and be like, hey, are you okay? Because in theory, you're like, oh, I feel bad for them. But then you remember every time they did anything wrong to you, you remember that. And you're like, well, why am I feeling bad for this person? This person literally emotionally and physically abused me for almost half my life and gave me many problems later that set me back as a result. And I feel like that's how some of the animatronics would feel about this, because they don't care whether or not he's a good person or not. And that's okay. Well, what about forgive and forget? Forgive and forget, they can't forgive him because what he did was excusable. And 2, they can't forget about it because it's constantly looming over them. So there's literally there's no reason why they would just forgive William out of the blue. An argument for this was, what if he was controlled by Glitchtrap? There is no evidence in any of the games that he was possessed by Glitchtrap, 1. 2, if he was possessed by Glitchtrap, A, he is a little silly, because why was he possessed in the first place? No explanation for that. B, Glitchtrap is a silly, because I think that Glitchtrap is William, like his memories stored in the system, I don't know. And C, why are you shipping them together? Then it would be the thing where William would hate Glitchtrap because Glitchtrap ruined everyone else's lives, ruining his life. So you just need to put these things in perspective. Another thing, if you look at the perspective of the animatronics, they live in the moment. So if you go ahead and you are like, hey, they need to chill out. William, yes, he did some bad things, but he had good intentions. But they don't care if he had good intentions or not. Because in the end, in the present, he's not being nice to them. Still, he's not being nice to them. And they're like, hey, dude, we don't like you. And then he's like, okay, that's cool. I don't like you either. And then they just have this mutual bond of not liking each other. And not everyone has to get along. That's the thing. I don't understand why every character can be wrong except for William. I don't understand this obsession with William because he's literally the antagonist of the entire series. Well, like, I guess all the animatronics are also antagonists, but think about it, they're the innocent ones, even though they are torturing little Mike. But that's not Mike's fault, or the animatronics' fault. Are you sure about that? Yeah, so that is why William is a silly, why you are sillies, not all of you, but some of you are sillies. That's the end of my rant, so I kind of hope you enjoyed, but at the same time, like, none of you really care about my opinions on things, so anyways, have a wonderful day or night.